Welcome, visionaries and trailblazers, to the Right Leader Podcast, where we explore the frontiers of leadership, management, and business acumen. I'm your host, Zachary Mitchell, here to guide you through the ever-evolving landscape of effective leadership. Today, we're deep diving into the compassionate commander, navigating leadership in the modern world. Let's embark on this journey together and discover how to lead with heart and strategy. First, like and subscribe to this platform to get more updates on future podcasts. It helps other leaders like yourself obtain access to more resources and tools to strengthen their skills. And now on to the Right Leader Podcast. Segment 1, the essence of compassionate leadership. Leadership today transcends traditional boundaries. It's about understanding empathy and connection. Let's start by unpacking the essence of compassionate leadership, why it matters, and how it can transform your approach to leading others. The deep dive will be the role of empathy in decision making. Now, empathy isn't just a soft skill that's nice to have. It's a critical tool in a leader's arsenal, especially when it comes to decision making. Let me share a story that really brings this point home. A few years back, I was leading a team on a high-stakes project. We were under tremendous pressure to deliver, and I noticed one of my key team members, let's call them Charles, was underperforming. The old me might have jumped to conclusions, maybe even considered disciplinary actions. But instead, I took Charles aside for a chat. I asked, "What's going on?" It turned out Charles was dealing with some serious personal issues, struggling to juggle work and family life now that he has a young child. I'm not going to go into great detail, but we all know the struggle of work-life balance and being at home present and taking on those responsibilities as well. In that moment, I had a decision to make. I could have insisted on performance regardless of personal circumstance, but empathy led the way. We worked out a flexible schedule for Charles, allowing them to work from home part of the week, and adjusted some deadlines. The transformation was night and day. Not only did Charles's performance improve, but their gratitude and loyalty to the team and the project multiplied tenfold. We completed the project successfully, thanks in no small part to a reinvigorated, committed team member. This experience taught me an invaluable lesson about the role of empathy in leadership. It's not just about being kind, it's about making informed, compassionate decisions that ultimately lead to better outcomes for everyone involved. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Share a moment when empathy made a difference in your leadership experience. How did it change the outcome? How did it transform your approach to leading others? Your stories are powerful reminders of the impact compassionate leadership can have on teams and projects. Segment 2, the strategic navigator. Strategy and compassion aren't mutually exclusive. They're complementary. We'll explore how strategic thinking, when combined with compassion, can propel teams to new heights. The deep dive will be balancing short-term challenges with long-term vision. I want to bring into our discussion an insight from a cornerstone of leadership literature, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen R. Covey. Covey introduces us to the concept of beginning with the end in mind, which is essentially a call for strategic foresight in everything we do. He writes, "To begin with the end in mind means to start with a clear understanding of your destination. It means to know where you're going so that you better understand where you are now and so that the steps you take are always in the right direction." This principle is a powerful tool in the strategic leader's toolkit. It's about knowing your team's ultimate goals and creating a roadmap to achieve them. But here's where the element of compassion intertwines beautifully with strategy. It's understanding that the end isn't just a business outcome or a project milestone. It's also about the growth, well being, and satisfaction of your team members. It's recognizing that the journey matters just as much as the destination. Imagine you're at the helm of a project facing unexpected hurdles. The strategy move isn't merely to navigate around these obstacles, but to do so in a way that maintains or even boosts team morale. It's taking the time to reassess not only your strategy, but also to check in with your team, understanding their pressures, and realigning tasks and goals to ensure that the journey towards the end remains positive and constructive. Covey's idea of beginning with the end in mind asks us to envision the future. But let's add a layer to that. As leaders, let's envision a future where success is measured not just by outcomes, but by the integrity of the process and the growth of our people. It's a future where our strategic goals are in harmony with our team's well being. So, as we chart our courses through the complexities of leadership, let's use Covey's wisdom as both a strategic and compassionate compass. Let's lead our teams towards not only achieving great things, but becoming greater themselves in the process. Segment 3, Philosophies that Shape Us. From the democratic to transformational, leadership philosophies shape our actions and impacts. I'll share insights into how different philosophies play out in real-world scenarios, and why versatility in leadership styles is key in today's dynamic environment. From the assertive charge of autocratic leadership to the harmonious chorus of democratic guidance, each style has its stage and script in the grand play of leadership. And then there's transformational leadership, where leaders become the conductors of change, inspiring their teams to reach beyond their grasp. But it's the philosophy of servant leadership that's truly capturing the imagination of the modern workplace, with its focus on the growth and well being of team members. Let's talk about how these styles play out in real world. Autocratic leaders, with their top down decisions, can be invaluable in crises where swift action is needed. Democratic leaders, with their inclusive approach, excel in fostering a culture of ownership and creativity. Transformational leaders push the boundaries, driving innovation and change. Today, we're diving into a style that's close to my heart and increasingly relevant in our rapidly evolving work environments: servant leadership. It's a philosophy that turns the traditional power hierarchy upside down, positioning leaders not at the top, but at the bottom, serving their team, prioritizing their needs, and empowering them to achieve their best. Servant leadership is more than a philosophy, it's a practice that's revolutionizing the workplace. It's about empathy, listening, and a commitment to the growth of people. Servant leaders ask, "How can I help?" And then they listen, really listen, to the answer. They remove obstacles, provide resources, and most importantly, they lead by example, embodying the values and work ethic they wish to see in their teams. Now, open the floor to you, our listeners. Think about an experience you've had with servant leadership. Maybe you've led a team through a challenging project by putting their needs and development first. Or perhaps you've been part of a team where the leader's servant first approach made a significant impact on your work and well being. What did that look like? And how did it influence the team's dynamics and outcomes? You can share your stories with us via social media, email, or even comments that we could feature in future episodes. Your insights and experiences enrich our collective understanding and appreciation of servant leadership. As we collect your stories, remember the beauty of servant leadership lies in its simplicity and its challenge. It's simple because it's about doing unto others as you would have them do unto you. It's challenging because it requires a shift in mindset from me to we, from I lead to I serve, so we can succeed. Embracing servant leadership isn't just about adopting a new management tactic, it's about transforming the heart of how we see our roles as leaders. And the impact, it can be profound, not just on our team's morale and productivity, but on our entire organizational culture. Segment 4, Embracing the Digital Age. The modern leader must be a digital native, leveraging technology to enhance team productivity and engagement. Let's discuss the tools and practices that can help you lead more effectively in the digital realm. In this fast-paced era, where technology evolves at the speed of light, leaders are challenged not to keep up, but to be ahead of the curve. The digital age demands we become not just users of technology, but masters of it, harnessing its power to foster team productivity, engagement, and innovation. Today, we're diving into how the landscape of remote work is reshaping leadership styles and spotlighting a game-changing tool that's revolutionizing the way leaders connect with their teams. Let's deep dive. Remote work isn't a fleeting trend. It's a fundamental shift in our work culture. It's challenged leaders to rethink communication, collaboration, and culture building from a distance. The transition hasn't been seamless for everyone, but it's spurred an evolution in leadership styles, emphasizing trust, flexibility, and a focus on results over traditional metrics like hours logged at the office. Leaders are now orchestrating teams spread across time zones, ensuring cohesion and maintaining morale without the benefit of physical presence. Let's showcase a tech spotlight. Now let's shine a light on a tool that's at the forefront of this digital revolution, TeamSync. TeamSync is not your average project management software. It's a comprehensive platform designed with the modern distributed team in mind. What sets TeamSync apart is an intuitive interface that seamlessly integrates task management, real-time communication, and emotional intelligence insights. Here's where it gets exciting. TeamSync uses AI to analyze team interactions and feedback, providing leaders with actionable insights to boost morale and productivity. It can alert you when a team member seems disengaged or stressed, allowing for timely intervention with targeted support or a much-needed pep talk. It is also facilitates virtual brainstorming sessions that mimic the dynamicism of in-person collaboration, ensuring every voice is heard, every idea is captured, and the best ideas shine. But TeamSync isn't just about efficiency, it's about connection. Its virtual water cooler feature creates spaces for informal chats and team bonding, replicating those invaluable corridors conversations and coffee breaks that glue teams together. And embracing tools like TeamSync, leaders can bridge the gap between the traditional and the digital, creating an environment where team members feel valued, connected, and driven, no matter where they are in the world. It's about leveraging technology not just to manage, but to lead with empathy, insight, and forward-thinking mindset. As we navigate the digital age, tools like TeamSync aren't just nice to haves, they're essential components of the modern leadership's toolkit, enabling us to lead with vision, understanding, and a human touch in a world where screens can make us feel worlds apart. Segment 5, The Art of Communication. Communication is the lifeblood of effective leadership. We'll dissect the art and science of communication, from active listening to delivering feedback that fosters growth and innovation. It's the cornerstone of leadership, the force that can either drive your team towards unprecedented success or into the ground. In the spotlight today is virtual communication, a domain that's become crucially important in our increasingly remote world. Let's dive deeper into strategies that make virtual communication not just effective, but impactful, fostering growth and innovation within our teams. This deep dive will talk about strategies for impactful virtual communication. The pivot to remote work has turned virtual communication from an occasional necessity into a daily reality. But without the nuances of face to face interactions, how do we ensure our messages resonate or our feedback inspires and our leadership transcends digital barriers? Here are strategies that can help. First, mastering the virtual meeting. Virtual meetings have become the boardrooms of digital age, but without the right approach, they can turn into a black hole of productivity. To lead effective virtual meetings, start with a clear agenda circulating in advance. During the meeting, engage participants by calling on them directly and encouraging dialogue. Visual aids can help maintain interest, but use them to enhance, not overshadow, the conversation. And always conclude with clear action items. Second, the art of active listening digitally. In virtual settings, active listening requires an extra layer of intentionality. It's not just about hearing words, it's about engaging with ideas. Show your listening by summarizing key points, asking clarification on questions, and providing feedback that demonstrates genuine engagement. Use video when possible to pick up on visual cues. And when it's not, pay extra attention to tone and pace. Third, feedback that fuels growth. Delivering feedback virtually demands a blend of clarity and empathy. Be specific about behaviors or outcomes and explain their impact. But also, be open to dialogue. Feedback should be a two-way street, even more so when you can't physically sit down together. Consider using video for sensitive feedback to ensure nuances are communicated effectively. Fourth, building bonds beyond bandwidth. Creating a sense of connection and camaraderie remotely can be challenging, but it's far from impossible. Schedule regular check-ins that aren't just about work, but also about how team members are feeling and coping. Virtual team building activities can also foster a sense of belonging and keep morale high. Fifth, embracing the written word. In remote work, writing is often the primary mode of communication. Make your writing clear, concise, and intentional. Before hitting send on that email or message, ask yourself if intent is clear and your tone is appropriate. Remember, digital words lack the benefit of tone. Choose them wisely. Implementing these strategies require patience, practice, and willingness to adapt. But the payoff, a team that's engaged, motivated, and aligned even across miles, is well worth the effort. As leaders, our challenge is to harness the power of virtual communication, to not just replicate the in-office experience, but to enhance it, creating the opportunities for growth and innovation. Segment 6, cultivating resilience and adaptability. In the face of adversity, a leader's true strength is shown. This segment focuses on building resilience and adaptability within teams, ensuring they can navigate challenges with confidence. It's one thing to read about these concepts in theory. It's another to see them in action, embodied by leaders who've weathered storms and emerged stronger. And when we talk about resilience in the face of adversity, one name stands out: Richard Branson. Real life hero Richard Branson, the visionary behind the Virgin Group, is celebrated not just for his entrepreneurial spirit, but for his remarkable resilience. Branson's journey is punctuated with challenges and setbacks, each offering a lesson in bouncing back with grace and tenacity. One of the most compelling examples of Branson's resilience is the story of Virgin Atlantic. In the mid-1980s, Branson made the audacious move to enter the airline industry with Virgin Atlantic, challenging behemoths like British Airways. It wasn't smooth sailing. Virgin Atlantic faced fierce competition, legal battles, and financial turbulence. The airline's very existence was threatened. But Branson's response to these challenges is a masterclass in resilience. He didn't retreat, he doubled down. Branson was innovative, introducing novel features like premium economy class and onboard massages, transforming the flying experience. He was also unafraid to take personal risks, famously selling Virgin records to ensure Virgin Atlantic's survival. Branson's leadership during these turbulent times was characterized by his unwavering belief in his vision, his ability to adapt to changing circumstances, and his relentless pursuit of excellence. He fostered a culture of resilience within Virgin Atlantic, inspiring his team to push boundaries and think creatively. The Virgin Atlantic saga teaches us several key lessons about resilience and adaptability. First, it underscores the importance of a clear, compelling vision. Branson's belief in a better airline experience was the North Star guiding Virgin Atlantic through the darkest days. Second, it highlights the power of innovation as a response to adversity. Rather than playing it safe, Branson reimagined what air travel could be, setting Virgin Atlantic apart. Finally, Branson's story is a testament to the strength of a united team. The resilience of Virgin Atlantic wasn't just Branson's alone, it was a collective effort, a shared belief in the impossible made possible by a leader who dared to dream, and a team that dared to follow. As we reflect on Richard Branson's resilience, let's consider how we can foster these qualities within our own teams. How can we nurture a culture of innovation, adaptability, and collective belief in our vision? How can we, like Branson, lead our teams through challenges, not just to survive, but to thrive? Closing segment, the future of leadership. And just like that, we find ourselves at the threshold of tomorrow, gazing into the future of leadership with both curiosity and determination. As we wrap up today's journey on the Right Leader podcast, let's ponder the path that lies ahead for leaders around the globe. The landscape of leadership is ever evolving, shaped by technological advances, societal shifts, and the relentless march of innovation. But what does the future really hold for us as leaders? How do we not only keep pace, but set the pace, charting a course that others will follow? Let's forward look. The evolving role of AI in leadership decisions. As we peer into the crystal ball, one trend stands out starkly against the backdrop of the future. The role of artificial intelligence is in leadership decisions. AI, with its unparalleled data processing capabilities and predictive analytics, is poised to become a co-pilot in our leadership journey. From enhancing decision-making with real-time insights to personalizing employee engagement and development, AI's potential to augment our leadership capabilities is both vast and exciting. Imagine AI-driven platforms that can predict team morale shifts, identify leadership development opportunities, and even recommend strategic pivots based on market trends. The future is one where AI does not replace leaders, but empowers them with tools and insights previously beyond reach. Final thoughts. Reflecting on how we can all be better leaders. As we stand on the brink of these transformative changes, it's essential to remember that technology is but a tool in leadership toolkit, in our leadership toolkit. the heart of leadership remains steadfastly human. Empathy, vision, and the courage to make bold decisions, these are qualities that define us as leaders. Qualities that no algorithm can replicate. The future of leadership challenges us to blend the best of human insight with the power of technological innovation. It invites us to be lifelong learners, constantly adapting and evolving our strategies to meet the needs of our teams and organizations. But most importantly, it reminds us that the choices we make today, the way we lead, the values we champion, and the cultures we cultivate lay the foundations for the leadership of tomorrow. Let us choose wisely, with an eye toward not just the immediate future, but the legacy we wish to leave for generations of leaders to come. As we conclude today's episode, I encourage you to embrace the future with an open mind and a steadfast heart. Stay curious, stay compassionate, and stay committed to the journey of leadership. The future is ours to shape, and together we can create a legacy of leadership that transcends time. Thank you for joining me, Zachary Mitchell, on the Right Leader Podcast. Until next time, keep leading right, looking forward, and making every day a step towards the future of leadership we all aspire to achieve. Farewell, and let's lead the way into tomorrow.